Okay, our next guest on Racing Extra is trainer Lee Curtis. Lee, welcome.
Mate, Aaron, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Mate, you're one of Twitter's favourite sons. You seem to be one of the stables that embraced Twitter nice and early.
Yeah, I think a lot of stables embraced it purely for racing, promotional purposes.
Yep.
I like to look at it initially in a different way.
Yeah.
Just get a sort of rapport with people.
Yeah, exactly.
And a few comments on things.
Yeah.
But I think we do a bit less of that these days.
Yeah, a bit less. A few political comments here and there, and
not too much.
A few haters. Well, just before we get straight into it, just for people that don't know your background and how you got into racing, well before my time, there was stables at Canterbury. You were part of that.
Yeah, I started training at Canterbury in '93.
93, yeah.
Yeah, and I just I had a horse that I owned that was trained down the coast, and I used to go down and help the guy who trained it, and then I brought it up, and I was with an old guy called Dave Mills at Canterbury, and I used to help him out, and I had a few horses, and he said to me, "Oh, you should get your licence, you know." So I got my licence and trained at Canterbury, and it was first runner I ever had was a winner.
Is that right?
Yeah, I had my licence a week, and 33 to 1 at Kembla.
No way.
How much you have on it?
Didn't miss that. It was all right. It was good, and I just said, "Oh, how easy is this?"
It was big. It was big betting back then, wasn't it, compared to what it is now?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know, a few hundred each way or something.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
Nice result, but. Yeah, well, that was a horse we had called Roadworthy. He was pretty much my first horse I got going. He won the Queanbeyan Cup.
Is that right?
It was back then. It was an $80,000 race.
Yeah.
Now I think you find today I don't know, it's worth maybe 30,000.
Okay.
So in those days, I mean, Gay and all the big guns were down there.
Yeah.
And it was a real event. He was a pretty good horse, and he ended up going in the wind, which is unfortunate because I think he would have really gone to being a pretty handy sort of stayer,
And let's talk about the first up win at 33 to 1. Was it a target? Was it a target for everyone, or you just you had a nice horse that was doing good things and you just sent it to the race?
Yeah, we'd given him a few runs previously with Dave and that. And he wasn't ready, and I think I was just so lucky that he just switched on that prep.
Okay.
And it was just us, He's just bang, he won, What do you do? And then I backed him up. I come home and he was a bit shinny after the race, and I said to the owners, "I might put him out. I'll give him another run at Canterbury." He won again. I think I was doing shin sore. We'd never had a zack on him. Well, this is just too easy. Like, I'm a genius.
Has it been easy ever since?
No. It goes up and down. I mean, look. When you've got a good horse and things are going good, it is easy.
Yeah.
It is so easy. The only ones that stress you and the ones you struggle with are the ones that probably in the end aren't much good.
Yeah.
You start worrying about blinkers and I put in the wrong race, and I worked it too hard on Tuesday and it's not eating enough. All this stuff that goes through your mind. It's because, like I said, good ones.
Yeah.
They're easy. They're easy.
And when did Canterbury close up, and then were you based here full time?
Yeah, no, I went to, that was pretty hard because they did a redevelopment of the track.
Yep.
And they basically kicked us out. And they said, "Oh, you got to go to Rose Hill," and they floated us over, and it was real messy for a couple of years, and it was pretty tough. We had boxes over the road here, and then eventually the Turf Club gave me boxes here. I had 10 boxes, and that was in about '98, and as soon as I moved on the 10 boxes down there, I got a horse from the pre-trainers, 2-year-old, Prestige.
Oh yeah.
So I've gone in here, I've got Prestige. Again, how easy is this, But it's a lot in between, but we've been here since about '98.
Yeah. Another horse that got a little bit to do with Private Steer. Do you want to tell us a bit about him?
Her.
Sorry.
Yeah, I had her. I had her trained. She didn't really impress me that much. She was a nice filly.
Yeah.
And you know, just put her out, and then she really started to go good, and we run her first up at Canterbury, and she got beat, and she probably should have won. And then I was in Melbourne with Prestige and next start at Kembla, and the owners changed the colours. I didn't even know.
Really?
Anyway, I'm watching this race on the TV at Northfield, and I was watching this maiden, and this thing's like 10 in front coming down the straight.
Yeah.
You know? I said, oh, I wonder who that is. That's going to be really impressive. And then I finished, and I worked out it was my horse. You know, it won by 14 lengths.
Is that right?
And held a track record for ages, and then I thought, well, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then she won the Reginald Allen, won by 5, I think. And anyway, then she ran in the Flight Stakes. Anyway, come back, won again, went to Magic Millions, and I lost it. She went over to Johnny O'Shea, and but that was all right. I mean, that happens in racing.
It happens.
But she, you could see at that age. I mean, to win a maiden by 14 lengths and hold a track record, she obviously was doing it.
Yeah.
She won the Reginald Allen on her ear.
Yeah.
And she was always going to go on to great things.
Well, let's talk about the then and now. Like, a lot of people in racing, the serious punters, and that regard you as one of the real good trainers out there. But you're a boutique stable. How important is sort of numbers in regards to a trainer, and whether, you know, marketing and that sort of stuff versus training?
I think trainers, I would imagine most trainers would attempt to have as many horses as they can.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, look, some people are better marketeers than others.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm great at it.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have a rapport with certain clients. Some people, you know, some people you can never please.
Yeah.
And some people you can do a lot wrong and still please them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just got to chip away and try your hardest. I mean, right at the moment, I've been up to having 20 in work, 16, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters much,
Yeah.
you know. Up to probably about 20.
Yeah.
I've got 10 or 12 here now, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Got a few, I've always got horses waiting to come in.
Yeah.
So, you just got to ride the wave, you know.
Yeah.
So around that 15 mark to your kind of ideal number for you?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you could do strategy. It's like steps. You know how profitable it is.
Yep.
You try to optimise that because it's an expensive game. Wages are big component.
Yep.
Wages are probably 30-40% of my turnover. So you've always got to manage that aspect. And horses you might speculate yourself. You can't end up with too many shares in them yourself because you're not getting your turnover to keep the books balanced.
Yeah, okay. That's I suppose not many of the big trainers have too many horses where they keep the shares themselves. Is that something you need to...
No, basically I think you just get left with them.
Yeah.
You know, and often the ones you get left with are the best ones, you know what I mean? Like, no rule to that.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking to a breeder once and he said to me he loved it when people didn't buy his horses.
Yeah.
They didn't make reserve because he said, the ones I brought home and would end up the best horses I raced myself. You know?
Yeah.
How funny is that?
No one knows. No one knows.
Well, let's talk about the state of racing at the moment. How hard is it for a trainer to sort of keep their head above water? Is it getting harder? And I guess that would roll on to owners making money through racing. Is it getting harder, more expensive?
Seems like it's getting harder.
Yep.
It does seem that way to me. I don't know why that is. Chris Waller's probably revolutionised things.
Yep.
He set out with a plan as far as communication, massive. He's shown everyone up pretty much. I respect there, and so the bar's been lifted in that respect.
Yeah.
You've got to have good communication, and that's something I've probably worked on in the last few years.
Yep.
But, it does seem harder now, but I don't know why. I mean, I'm always going back and through my records and then saying, well, geez, I'm quiet this week or this month.
Yeah.
What am I doing different? And you're doing exactly the same things.
Yeah.
Do you think the quality of racing has changed in Sydney?
Yes. Oh yeah, it's harder. Yeah.
It's harder, right?
It's harder.
It's one thing that I find so strange is the fact that I think you look now a lot more smaller fields, but the quality of racing is just as strong if you're harder, as you said. Why is that?
I don't know. It was probably, I mean, you probably trace it back to the influence of Godolphin and that sort of thing, you know, the breeds that are coming here, and
Yeah.
you know, I think Sydney's pretty hard.
Yep.
But I mean, for me personally, I'd rather be here,
Yep.
doing it tough, and
Yeah.
I think you've got a better profile.
Yeah.
And saying going to, you know, Winchell
Yeah.
or in a state where I'm sure it's a lot harder to attract owners.
Yeah. There's something Aaron mentioned, looking at some of your horses recently, they seem, you sort of like to, or is it whether you like them to get back and sort of come home, or is it just the type
No,
of horse
absolutely
that you have?
not, absolutely not. Someone said that to me the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, your horses get back, Lee. I said,
Yeah.
I could go back, you know, I can't remember, 6-7 years ago, I had all these horses, they're all leading.
Yeah.
And I was walking around and saying,
Yeah.
oh, Curtis loves to lead, you know.
Strategics of the
It's
world,
just,
yeah.
Oh, you know, I remember I went to Canterbury one day and I had 4 horses, they were led.
Yeah.
And oh, you're crazy, you're doing it all wrong, you know, you should be leading. Well, that's just the way they are. It's the same
Yeah.
as, you know, Press Report and Turgle and Jet have been getting back.
Yeah.
Press Report probably a little bit further than what we want.
Yeah.
Turgle and Jet, he has to get back. He's had a bleed before.
Yeah.
He likes to race that way, and I'm not about to change it.
Yeah.
You know, if he bleeds again, he's retired. You know, and he's a lovely horse, and he'll just keep racing that way. And unfortunately, he's got to get in races where the pace is on. You know, and there's genuine bias standing outside. You know, and he can win. You know.
Well, that's something Aaron mentioned, the bias factor. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Is it changing with the race?
Do you think, is that something that's changed over time? Like, what we see now is a lot more false rails where they go 2 stories or 6 metres, and like 6 metres here it's very on pace. Like you couldn't see Turbo and Jet winning on a day where it's 6 metres from the track. Do you think that's changed racing a lot, like for you even?
Definitely. I mean, look, I'm not about to go. Like, I think your mate Glenn Pollard, he's got the theory that rails should be in the same place,
I think so
and
too.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah.
Me neither.
But-
Gerald says the same thing.
Yeah, just leave them. You know, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, look, maybe bias was prevalent back then. But I mean, I'm talking about 10 years ago, even
Yeah.
you know, not 25 years ago when I started, but no one talked about it as much.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
one talks
And maybe the real smart judges knew about it, weren't telling anyone.
Yeah.
But it just seemed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously situations, you know, in Canterbury in the old days when it was wet, you just go straight to the outside fence and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
But no, I don't know. It's something that's definitely there, and I think the clubs, with all due respect to my mates here, I think they're always talking it down.
Yeah.
And I think the punters talk it up.
Yeah.
And maybe there's something in between. There's a happy medium in between, you know. But
Yeah,
it's
I
definitely there, massive. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I had, you know. Anyway, no, I'll get on to Press Report later. But anyway, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the riding ranks in New South Wales, and you've had a bit of an association with Glyn and also Winona. But well, as a general rule, how do you sort of find dealing with the jockeys at the moment?
Their bedside manner, their presentation is a lot better than it used to be. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, in the old days, it's like, I keep going on like an old man, but you know, like some time ago, you know, your jockeys would tell you to get fucked, sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you said that to them, they're much more, you know,
More
they
approachable.
go home and bag you, you know, rather,
Yeah.
you know, rather than say it to your face. You know, I remember
Okay.
one jockey bagging me. Canterbury give me an awful hiding, you know, after I'd criticised his ride, you know.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't happen now.
Wouldn't happen now.
No, I mean, look, I'm obviously small stable, I don't, you know, I'm not in the thick of all the jockeys, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, Glyn, I know Jason Pollock's been in this morning, he's been riding for me.
Yeah.
You know, they can do the job.
Yeah.
You know,
So how do you go with selecting a jockey for a horse? Are they usually
well,
three go-to?
you ring up and you get the first 6 knockbacks, then you take the 7th one, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a very different world for a smaller trainer, isn't it, to someone like Chris or Gerald that seem to have...
Well,
They book 3
well,
weeks
yeah,
in
I mean, like
advance
Chris
as
would just
well.
say, well, you're riding that, you're riding that, and, you know, you don't argue,
Yeah.
otherwise there's a door, you know,
Yeah.
and then they can say that, but we've got to just
It's a
get
very
what we can.
different style.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, I can ring up for, you know, Jason or Winona or Glenn, and then, you know, there's another 5 will ring,
Yep.
ring for Huey all the time, but
Jimmy gives another.
no, can't get Huey's too hard to get.
Too hard to get.
He's the man, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's talk about a controversial time, I suppose, right now in regards to all the commentary about drugs in racing and cobalt and all that stuff. Talking with the Rosehill trainers, is it a level playing field? What's your general thoughts on how much of it is true and how much of it is sort of being covered up? Just whatever you feel comfortable.
I don't think much has been covered up, but I think
there are.
When the ARB brought in those rules a couple of years ago about, you will get time for this, that and the other, right?
Yeah.
That was this indication to people, whatever people may have done in the past.
Yep.
I include everyone.
Yep.
Time's up, boys.
Yep.
That's it.
No more of that.
That's why I'm really surprised about the cobalt thing, because I thought after then everyone said, righto, we'll just chill out,
Yeah.
And the fact that all this stuff's come up since then, I think is more of a surprise to me.
Okay, it's an interesting take on that. Because that's one thing, and as you said, you've been around for 25 years. Everyone's going, like form-wise, people are going, oh, this horse improved due to cobalt. But going back through racing, the horses have always been hit with the jigger, or
there's always something going on.
There's always something going back on.
That's why in the back of the racing calendar there's a list of stuff you can't use. The only reason that's in there is because we found it in horses over the years.
Yeah.
So, people, that's natural, as cyclists do it. People always want an edge.
Yeah.
An edge just makes you look so astute.
Yeah.
And you're going to get better clients and all that. So I can't blame people who may have done this in the past. I'm not saying don't want anything, but that whole thing. Like I said, I just find it disgusting. We're as transparent as we can. We do things. We don't want to. I've got a great little business here. Yeah. Even though you have your ups and downs, but I don't want to lose this.
Yeah.
We go to great lengths, and we got our treatment books, and would never. Just what's the use? You got to go through all that stuff. You need solicitors. Cost you a fortune. You're out of the game. You've got to go and get a real job. Yeah. Like why? I honestly, I think the stuff we've seen recently, I think that'll be the end of it. I honestly do. Yeah. Besides very minor pockets,
I suppose. Do you have any more questions before we finish up?
Yeah, I want to touch back on the horses.
Yep.
You got a horse like Turbulent Jet. He's been a really good horse to the stable.
Yes, yeah.
But as you said, he's become a horse that's become hard to place. How do you, once he's gone through the grades and now he's kind of found his level, how do you place a horse like him?
Well, you just got to, you do all about looking for, where the bias is going to suit him. Yeah. Basically he can run up to a listed level. His last run was in a Group 2. He got beat a couple of lengths of him. That's probably a bit beyond him, but it was worthwhile having a crack.
Yep.
You look at the rating. He's a rating 80, so rating 80 to rating 90 races. There's plenty of them.
Yeah.
And he could win another 3 of them. Mm-hmm. But given that what we discussed earlier about what he needs to go for him.
Yeah.
Win 3 races, he's probably going to have 12 starts. But when last prep, he won 50,000. He never won a race, but paid his way.
Sure did.
So the owners aren't behind.
Yep. Do you think the benchmarks ratings should come down quicker than they currently do? Do they go up faster than they come down?
Sometimes they go up, I think,
way too fast.
Yep. And I think they could come down slightly quicker.
Yeah.
Do you think horses are starting to get more, like their rating system seems to be on what the handicappers think their ability are than what they've actually done? But I think horses aren't able to work through the grades. If they win a race, their rating points.
Especially if you win your first start, you're in big trouble.
You're in big trouble.
Yeah, you're in big trouble. There seems a bit. I think there's a bit of a clog down there. You can get through too quick.
Yeah.
You can have a horse that wins 2 races. All of a sudden, he's a rating 75 horse. They might not be ready to be rating 75 horses.
Yeah.
And get in the water for a fair few runs.
So that's something I think needs to be looked at.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying I've got the answers, but it is. does make it hard, yeah, sometimes.
The weights that are changed. I think as of October with the spreads. I think it's 62 is it the top weight as opposed to what it was.
Yeah, but still compared to like back even before I come along, the spreads were like, what were they, 13 kilos or something.
Yep.
So your limit was 48 and of course you're going 62. So
yeah.
I don't worry about weights too much. So
yeah.
I don't.
So you don't see it having a big impact whether it's the bottom weight or the top weight in a race, basically?
No, to me it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. A little bit. I mean, obviously, it depends what the race you're in and all that, but
yeah.
To me, I don't worry about weights too much because I don't think the spreads are much.
Okay, interesting.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, I think we've done well. Before we finish off, any horses that you think that people should look out for? I know you've got one racing today.
Yeah, Kentucky, he should go well. Got that filly there, she's out of Heavenly Glow.
Okay.
She's called Mountain Bellamy. She had 3 trials. The last trial she won, we put her out.
Okay.
And she's going good. She'll trial on the 16th. She's a nice filly. Got her brother, the press report there, called Sports Report.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He'll trial in a couple of weeks. He's a big, strong fellow that we've given plenty of time to.
Yep.
Got a Hinchinbrook colt trial in 2 weeks. Nice colt.
Yep.
Nice colt. And a couple of Star Spangled Banner fillies there. The 3-year-olds I've given plenty of time to.
Okay.
And they'll be running in the next few weeks. So.
Okay. So that's a small team, but you're quite happy with the little team you've got
at the moment.
And some shares available in those? Maybe?
Yeah, I've got a written tycoon colt. I've got some interest left in.
Okay.
And he's down the back there. He's just going through the motions. And probably go to Barry's next week.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
So you're going to be a bit more active then in the trials we'll be seeing in the next few weeks.
I'll probably have 4 trials at the next trials, and then beyond that.
Okay.
Got a good little filly there. That one right behind it. She's out of La Montagne on the Strad Road.
Oh really?
I bought 4 fillies off Patent Dispersal, so I bought her and a couple of others.
Okay.
She's only 2. She's tougher, I think.
Yeah. Spending time with us, and if you want to get in contact with Lee, do it through his website or come to us and we'll place you and find some horses, and good luck for the coming season.
Thanks boys.
No worries.